Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz. Guys, welcome to YouTube exclusive number 13. Lucky number 13, baby.
Lucky number 13.
That's right. If this is your first time joining us for a YouTube exclusive, basically what we do with these is we do a shortened version of our full-length podcast episode. So if you didn't know, we do have a full podcast that we've had for a little bit over 3 years, actually like 3.5 years now.
Yeah,
we keep saying a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
But like 3.5 years now, over 160 episodes. So we are right here on YouTube with that. We're also on all audio platforms. So make sure you go and check out our podcast. Here on YouTube, we have these exclusives. We have the podcast, and we also have our vlog. So tons of content here on YouTube. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. But yes, basically what we do is just a shortened version of one of our formats. What we have today for number 13 is a shortened version of a physical vitality, which is one of our main 5 formats. Now, last week on the podcast, we talked all about hypertrophy talk and kind of like the 3 different camps that are really circulating around social media, especially, and that those 3 camps are low volume training, high volume training, and power building training. And we cover each one, we give our opinions on them, we give facts on them. We also give plenty of our personal experience with all 3 of those as well, whether it's us or some of our close friends. What we wanted to do tonight is kind of outline some of the points, re-outline some of the points to cause you guys to then go and listen to the full episode, because it's actually a really, really great episode full of a ton of great information. Again, it's free, but a ton of great information for you guys in that episode. So we're gonna go over a few points here, and then make sure you go and listen to that podcast episode. Again, that is last week, which is episode
161.
Crazy.
Crazy, even though it was last week.
I know.
That's comedy. Guys, by the way, Wurtz is right. Our physical vitality episodes are just going to keep going up, because each one of them, I mean, the formats get better, the structure we give to each one of them is better. And going on to the structure he's talking about here, that low volume, high volume, and then power building stuff we were talking about, we want to kind of give you guys a pass to actually try different things here with your training.
Right.
Now, a lot of people talk about variety training a lot of times and doing different things and all that, because a lot of people just enjoy doing different things. Now, we're kind of an advocate of both, because there's the aspect of, okay, you need to track stuff so you actually see progress in it. But there's also the aspect of training supposed to be fun. Like, unless you're a professional athlete, you're not training for your job. You're training for life and all this other stuff that comes along with it. And it should be enjoyable, right? So we're gonna give you guys a pass today to do that. And then also go back and listen to the in-depth styles of what we're talking about here in the past episode, in 161. But constraints we wanna talk about. One of these low volume, high volume, or power building. We're just talking about these, by the way. These are for hypertrophy or muscle building, primarily. We're not talking about any kettlebell training. Those are great too. Athlete training, all that's great too. We're just talking about the 3 we're talking about today. But constraints-wise for you guys, we want to make the point that you should try, if you're going to try each of these 3 formats we talked about, give it at least 2 to 3 months for each one. Minimum. Yeah. And that's pushing it to a minimum pretty heavy there. That's just to give you guys some room to work with there, truthfully.
Right.
Obviously, there are some of you that already listen to the podcast that have your own structures that work for you. Stick with that. That's great. We're not talking to you guys in this episode. We're talking to the ones who are really looking at different styles, which some of you might be stale on your styles too and want to see new ones. So 2 to 3 months would be a good starting constraint for that, and starting at that point in time so you could track results and see if you gain, any type of muscle during that time. If you lose fat-free or fat mass, etc. Body fat percentage, if that goes down, that's another good thing to track as well. And your in-bodies at free places pretty much anywhere nowadays. So if you see these factors go down in the case of body fat, or go up in the case of skeletal muscle mass, that's a good thing to see. And it's okay to try these different things, because realistically, you might respond better to one of them and you might enjoy it also at the same time. The one you really want is the one that you respond to really well and that you also enjoy at the same time. That is the perfect combination to have for yourself long term. Well, and so in addition to all those in-body metrics that you just mentioned, the skeletal muscle mass, the body fat percentage specifically, another way to tell if you are getting results that you're wanting is physical, the look of your body. Is it changing in ways that you want it to change? Are you starting to look how you want to look? Those types of things. Again,
Is that going to fully happen in 2 to 3 months? Most likely not, unless you're on something like a 75 hard where it's requiring you to do all kinds of activity, which that can be obviously a very, very useful tool to get physical results. Not the point of the program, but it does come with it. But more than likely, you will not get your full desired physique in 2 to 3 months. But our point is here, do you enjoy the training? Are you getting even the direction of the results that you want to get? So physical transformation obviously goes into this. Now, as we talked about in the podcast episode, and you just mentioned it again here, what do you respond best to? We are at the point in our fitness journeys and the amount of time and years and effort that we've put into the fitness space that we know what both of us respond well to individually. You know, what's going to get us like hyper results, what's going to get us maybe more prolonged results, what might take a little bit longer to get results. And so obviously we're going to stay towards the ones that give us the quickest results. However, we also like to mix it up a ton. You and I both, we like to mix it up a ton, whether that's a bodybuilding style, you know, incorporating a bunch of kettlebell stuff. We love using our GoRuck equipment, which is very niche type stuff, you know, the sandbag specifically. So when you get to a point like that, like it's totally fine to be switching it up, but still after a certain amount of time. We're not switching it up week to week because that's not really productive for anything. So I think the biggest key here, because a lot of you guys, even us, but a lot of people fall into paralysis by analysis, and especially with these 3 camps being talked about so much on all social media. I mean, if you're involved in the fitness space at all on social media, you will run into this with all kinds of different people talking about these 3 different styles of training and things like that. And some of them are qualified, some of them aren't. We also cover that in the episode with actual like inputted evidence with video and stuff like that. So paralysis by analysis can happen, I would say, by 2 things. Number 1, you're sitting there and you're reading and you're watching all these different things and you have absolutely no idea what to do. Number 2, which kind of I guess goes with number 1, is you're paying attention to way too many different people. Pick a person, whether it's an athlete, a coach of an athlete, and that athlete could be a professional sports athlete, it could be a bodybuilding athlete, it could be a high rocks athlete, it could be a endurance athlete, things like that. Pick someone that you enjoy watching. Pick someone that you maybe want to look like. Now, not everyone's going to look like C-Bum.
No.
Or Ronnie Coleman.
Again, like we talked about there too, there's genetics that play.
Genetics, and obviously like there's performance enhancing drugs involved too with those big time bodybuilders. That doesn't take anything away from them, by the way, but those are certainly involved. So if you're not on those types of things, then you're not going to look like C-Bum. You're just not. But if you enjoy that style of training, maybe you start paying attention to a Hani Rambod who coaches Chris Bumstead. Maybe you reach out to us and get our training, because since we have so much experience on our own, and since we have so much experience training all different types of clients, we can do just about any style of training. We really can. I mean, between the 2 of us, we have a ton of different experience when it comes to training general population, athletes, elderly, overweight, underweight, things like that. Like, we have a ton of experience in that. So you can reach out to us, of course. But we want you guys to avoid falling into that paralysis by analysis. And that's why Gabel mentioned we are here to give you guys a pass, give you permission that it's okay to try new styles of training. It is. It's not okay, though, to switch week to week, or 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks there. You have to stick with something for a prolonged amount of time. We're saying a minimum of 2 to 3 months. Realistically, it's probably minimum 6 months, but 2 to 3 months will at least get you a good base. You'll know then if you enjoy it, if it keeps you coming to the gym, if it keeps you staying active and things like that, then that's a positive sign, you know? But that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say in that paralysis by analysis too, guys, is like Wurtz was saying, with like little details as well. Certain details can be important. You know, if we're talking about, okay, like this week you were at 225 on bench press and you went up to 230, the next week knocked out 5 reps on both sets. That's a great sign. You know, that's a great piece of data to look at, you know. But in the case of the reps and reserves, the time under tensions, the tracking your like frequency and intensity, or like you're looking at your watch and you're tracking your sleep score, and if you don't have a great sleep score, you decide not to train hard like every day because you're just not sleeping well or whatever. that's where we're talking like this, especially this guy can activate a lot of that paralysis by analysis.
Sure.
We're also talking about that aspect to where, you know, if you're going to start training, also enjoy it to a certain degree. Like again, train with intensity, train hard, train with as much energy as you possibly can, even if you got bad sleep that night, even if your watch tells you or your Whoop tells you your recovery's at a certain point or whatnot, which are good metrics to a certain degree.
Absolutely.
But too many people obsess over little details like that and get caught up in that type of stuff. And then it ruins their training or ruins their ability to even check out other forms of training or anything like that because PubMed told them this one thing or whatever. Something like that when this other thing has been working great for them. So that's a big point of it too.
Yeah, well, and just to add a little bit, as far as like the sleep scores and the watches and all that, like we both use our Garmin's a ton. And I was literally, just before we started this, I was talking about how much I love the Garmin app. Huge advocate for getting a Garmin. I was an Apple Watch guy for a long, long time. Made the switch over, I don't know, a few months back. But anyway, you know, it'll give you a sleep score and it'll say, you may want to rest today. And it's like, okay. Some people are gonna make the decision to then not train, not go to the gym like you just mentioned. But maybe that's a day where you know that you're gonna be a little bit tired. It's gonna be a little bit harder to get through the day. It might be a little bit harder to get to the gym. But if you can get yourself to the gym and get yourself moving, you will be much happier with maybe a lesser workout than no workout.
Exactly.
And that's the point. So if you get so wrapped up into this stuff, which it can be very easy to do. Like I'm a numbers guy. I love looking at stats. Like every morning I look at the sleep score and how long did I sleep and all this, because it is good to know. It is like, absolutely, it's a good thing to know. But I don't let it paralyze me. I don't.
100%. Because exercise is also found to offset effects of sleep deprivation too. So keep that in mind as well. Like little details like that, exercise oftentimes offsets the issues with that as well, just like it does with any other parts of your health too. So
guys, that is YouTube exclusive number 13. As always, please remember to share the show. It is free for you to do that. If you are on audio, share it to your Instagram stories, your Facebook stories, whatever. It's just a few clicks to do that. If you're here on YouTube, take a picture of your screen, take a screenshot of your screen and post that to your Instagram stories because it helps us grow tremendously. And again, it is free. So guys, until next time, peace and love.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom.
Nice, dude.